G'day, Captain Australia here. Let me chuck on the old specs in case there's comments and stuff. There we go, slip them on over here. Oh, that doesn't work, Captain Australia. Can you slip them in here? That sounds dirty, Captain Australia. There we go. Specs on. Vision improved. Okay, so I've come about 20 kilometers this morning. I am currently, the map is a bit dodgy because I'm walking on the right side of the freeway. Every time I want to recalculate how far I've got to go, it wants to count backwards to the last U-turn and add that to calculate the point forward. So, g'day, good morning, Tiffany. So yeah, I can't say exactly, but I think I'm about 25k from McLean, which was my destination for the day. Ow, oh, ow, ow, ow. Idiot. I just bumped one of my larger blisters against the metal bench here. Love the look, yeah. Thanks, Kaz. And Kaz says, morning, Captain. G'day, good morning. Jennifer, hi. So, I have about 25k more to go to McLean. So I'm at a roadside rest stop here. There's a water tower, toilets and fresh water, which is good because I've only got about a litre left. This holds about a litre. I've drank my surplus from last night, yesterday, sleeping rough, all that. So I'm going to refill before I move on. But I think I'm going to hang out here for 30, 45, maybe an hour before moving on, give the feet a bit of a rest and a recuperation, and then I'll push forward to McLean. So plan tonight is to sleep somewhere close to before, in or after McLean, depending on what looks viable to me. Yeah, so I'll pitch camp wherever I can see a discreet little place where it's viable to chuck the hammock up, and there you go. So that's the practicalities of the walking. I'm finding this stretch between Ballina and Coffs Harbour to be a bit more of an endurance walk, so it's a lot of the same. Bang, bang, bang. Got to carry more food and more water, heavier pack. Safe travels continued. Yep, keeping safe, Kaz. And yeah, so my back starts to get a bit annoyed with the pack. And I think that's important for the personal dimension of the big walk anyway. This is like my dig-in suffering phase, you know, where I relearn how to do what I say I'm going to do and not pike out on things and, you know, move forward even if it's hard. So cancer, you know, oh, you're a cancer warrior, you survived stage 4 cancer. But it's not like that. It kind of cripples you. You turn into a bit of a shut-in. People don't know what to say to you anymore, and you don't know what to say to people anymore. And you get into this sort of wishy-washy half ghost mode. So now I'm relearning to, I don't know, be a bit tough. And it has been tough. It's been a tough couple of days. So we've got a comment. Hey Captain, looking good, not far till McLean. Beautiful spot, how's the weather? Have a great day, waiting to see you in Coffs. So that's from Fiona. Oh, you're in Coffs, are you, Fiona? No worries, cool. Well, if anybody lives in Coffs, I might even, it's going to be an iffy place for the whole rough, sleepy sort of stuff because, you know, it's a tourist destination, so they're pretty vigilant about, you know, the homeless and whatnot, I would imagine. I don't know. That said, Ballina used to be like that, and there were a few homeless through there. You are so tough. I don't know. I'm rebuilding myself, so maybe I'm starting to get a bit tough. Thanks, Anna. Kaz, you've grown since you started your quest. I think so too, and shrunk. Conversely, and I've also I've let some things go. So the first week along the beach, that was very much about surrender, letting go. You know, a lot of old grief and expectations and fury and sadness and all of this, and you just bang, goodbye, see you later. So we've got a comment. We will find you a good spot to sleep in Coffs. Yeah, okay, even if it's in somebody's backyard, if there's a couple of trees and I can get their permission, if you've got somebody living there, that would be less likely to get me a fine from the police or the coastal rangers or whoever it is that polices vagrancy through the area. But yeah, for me, that first week was about letting go, and I think this second week now is about digging in. It's about, this is like, now that I've swept away a lot of, or most of the yucky stuff, the old stuff, the pain, I can fill up with, a bit of effort. This is about rebuilding. Damien says, hello Cap, going well. Thanks mate, thank you very much. Kaz says, awesome, thank you Kaz. Ellie, you're an inspiration. Well, that's lovely of you to say, Ellie, thanks very much. So, yeah, what am I? I'm an old fella, not that old, older than I look. Older than I look? No, I look older than I am, I mean. But, that said, chemo does a number on your cognitive stuff as well, so you start to feel a lot older as well. Body John Boyd says, keep going mate, we are with you at Walking to Melbourne. There's an at Walking to Melbourne? Well, yep, thank you. I'm going to make it. Yeah, I'm going to push through. Like, I've come maybe 1/8 of the way or something like it. What colour is your wife painting, says Neil. Well, she's gone and redone a feature wall in our house. So the house has fallen into disrepair, so it's kind of a good parallel to me and cancer, over the last 5 years it's fallen into disrepair and decline. So as soon as I'm out, she grabs some paint and paints the living room, and she's done it in like this bold red colour that, I mean, bless her, it makes her happy. That's great. I don't mind at all. It had been like this sort of cool deep blue, and she's gone bold red, and to me it looks like it belongs in a sex dungeon or something, like it's the kind of colour that you only see in certain types of horror movies, or I don't know if I've ever walked into a room and just seen bang, this big splash of bold red that she's done. But more power to her. She's going like a little whirlwind through the house. The song Walking in Memphis converted to Walking to Melbourne. I'll be aware of that when we get to any kind of karaoke. I will do. I don't know, they bring the lyrics up on the screen anyway. I don't really remember the lyrics to that song. It's a nice song. We were walking in... No, I can't. If they had the music, I could probably do it. Walking to Melbourne. Tiffany says it's only week 2. Watching your progress seems like longer. Oh, whoops! Did I accidentally? I flipped you around. Sorry. That's just from someone watching you. Seeing time is going to play with you over the next few weeks, Kat. Yeah, I'm ready for that. I'm braced that. I think I'm finding my stride, and it will become a bit meditative in the next few weeks. There's going to be a period of just getting it done, in the churn of it, and and here and there there'll be days that are just filled with adventure, like straight out of Ballina. That was awesome. So I got my fill of awesome. So now I can just do some hard walking, But I wish I could have shared more, but there's no reception. The video, maybe I'll be able to upload some of the videos that I took. But yeah, it's all these like little goat trails and trees and almost rainforesty in one section and swampy in another. And I had no idea where I was going. I just had to rely on the GPS and the compass a bit, and got through, and it was wonderful. It was a great adventure. So we've got another comment that's come past. Fiona says, you're teaching me a lot. Red is meant to be a lucky colour according to a lot of Asian countries. Well, that's probably why she chose it. Yeah, it's like white is the colour of death. It's like the funerary colour there, or grieving or mourning or something. So yeah, it's all a question of the spectrum like that you're used to and what that palette relates to. So for me, green is nature and all of this. Rest, for some cultures, it might represent sickness. So yeah, she loves the colour and I love her, so that's what matters. For me, I reckon the next few weeks are going to be hard, but I'll be in Sydney and let's see, Coffs Harbour's getting towards the halfway point. Yeah, I reckon I'll be in Sydney before the end of January, and that'll be just a big, whoa, okay, halfway point. And I've been thinking of rationalising the rest of the trip from there. So plan A had me following the Victorian coastline and the New South Wales coastline, looping down through a much longer walk. But some people have written and said, look, you can just cut through some good country and just go straight as a car would drive. And it's like 800 kilometers as opposed to 1200. Big picture, I don't think it really matters. The time shouldn't really matter, but I'm just really sensitive about it. I'm already missing one son's birthday in February, and there's another one in April. If I cut the journey back, well, less of a risk. I don't know, I miss my family. We'll see how we go once I get to Sydney. What have we got here? Tiffany says, wouldn't take long, especially being able to look back on all the video diary entries. What's that? That relates to someone else. Write a book next, please. Oh, come on. I need to have a few more moments of incredible wisdom or funny or pooping the pants or something, you know. All this is walking. Hey, we got a big bug. Is he a friendly bug or a dangerous bug? Who knows what happens after the walk? When I get home, I'll be a changed person, and I think I'll need to be very mindful as I step back into my life. Because you could let old priorities reassert themselves, and that's okay because the old priorities were great. Um, the top one was my family. The second one was having fun, trying to be happy. I was just sort of failing at both of them, but they were great priorities. But now that I'm better, when I get back, I can slip into where I was, or I can rebuild and have a new set of priorities. You've got this experience, says Kaz. You're right, and I need to make sure I build from that. I don't just have my walk, get home, and then fall back into the same sort of patterns. But I'm not grieving in the way that I was, and I won't be suffering in the way that I was. So I'm pretty comfortable that whatever comes next, it will be a happy life. But yeah, I don't know what I'll do professionally. I might be able to get my travel insurance company back off the ground now that things are starting to open up a bit. We'll have to see about that. But it doesn't really matter. For now, I'm on my quest, and I think my quest is going okay. You know, the weather the last couple of days has been a challenge, but that's part of it. Challenge is part of it. I mean, I could handle worse weather, to be honest. It's been a bit savage, but hey, bring it on! No, well, actually, no. Just I finally took the poncho off. Let me keep the poncho off. Yeah, it's like someone's playing a joke on me though, because every time I take the poncho off, bam, in comes the weather, and then I sort of wait a bit. No, getting wetter, getting wetter. Put the wet weather gear on. Boom, sunshine. So it's like I got this trigger. There's like some sort of a switch on my shoulder when I. How did your photo shoot go yesterday? Well, it wasn't exactly a photo shoot. So this guy, his name's Scotty, and he has travelled around Australia. He's a young guy, 25, and he's had this passion in photography, and he's gone around Australia photographing. He calls them isolated people. So his own father lives off the grid, or is trying to. Hunts pigs and hare and snakes and whatever, and gets his own food through hunting, and I think is close to living completely off the grid. And Scotty, inspired by that, has gone around Australia taking photos of indigent people, people who are sort of like a bit hermity, or living, or like me, doing something a bit unique. So he's gone around just collecting photos. He hasn't done anything with them yet. It's in his own private little collection, but he might publish them someday or share them on the web. So he saw me walking down the road and pulled over and he said, "What's your story, man?" We chatted for a half hour and he said, "Oh, please, I don't have my camera gear, but is there some way I can contact you? I'd love to come and take some pictures of you." And I waited by the side of the road the following day. We met up. He brought me a beer, lovely bloke, and it was just a few simple photos for his collection, I'm afraid. So I don't know if they'll be shared. Well, I hope so, because I'm sure he takes lovely, dramatic photos too. Tiffany says, how cool is that for you both to cross paths during your individual journeys? And everything happens for a reason, and Fiona says, so true. Yeah, I'm I'm still, I got a long ways to go, and I got to reconcile myself with a lot of that. I mean, I like the idea, but I also know in my heart that the world isn't, cotton candy and hot dogs and sunny days. There's pain and there's suffering out there as well. So for me, it's reconciling that and maybe realizing that that is there for a reason. So when I've gone through just little hardships, like in the walk, horrible weather, damaged feet, and all of the rest, and then receive incredible kindness and compassion and a warm bed and been able to take a meal. It's that joy. So it's like suffering unlocks joy. So I'm still working out the logic of it, you know. If I chose the life that I would live, like I'm up in a cloud somewhere and it's like, you are about to be born, Simon, who would you be? And I could choose to be like a mega wealthy, you know, what's his name, Packer or whatever, and just have a life where I didn't have to worry about tangible things. I'd probably find myself worrying horribly about the emotional things and whether people cared about me or my money and all of that sort of stuff. But at the end of the day, if I chose, I don't think I would choose that life of plenty, because if you don't earn it, it doesn't have much value, and if you don't suffer for it, you won't get the most enjoyment from it, I suppose. And that's big picture, little picture too. But yeah, these days we're crazy for our entertainment, and that's weird. I've been on the road for almost 2 weeks now. I don't miss Netflix or anything very much. Um, that's the light, Simon. No logic. Lynette says, "Hey," and maybe all my life I've been sort of given to logic, and maybe it's time to just let that go and just try and live towards what feels like the right choice, the right choice, the most beautiful, kindest, best thing that I can do in the short, mid, and long term. But yeah, I don't miss Netflix. Uh, I don't miss screens. I've got this one, but it's really just scurrying through, trying to politely respond to all your kind comments and suggestions and stuff. Um, but yeah, anyway, it's a rainy old day, not too bad though, seems to be clearing up, and I'm going to press forward to McLean, but I'm going to put my feet up. I've taken the boots off, I've set my piggies free, and I'm just going to have a little lay down on the bench here like your average drunken fella in the middle of the day, and I might even doze off for a bit, and then I'll continue from McLean, and I will update from there. We can talk about, I don't know, whatever you want to talk about, really. I don't think I'm coming up with any new. Like the first week for me was full of little moments. You know what I mean? But I think now, yeah, it's kind of like endurance. It's about just finding my inner strength again. You know, learning how to dig deep and how to use it. But yeah, anyway, there we go. So thank you so much for your interest. Anybody who's watching this, really, I'm humbled and delighted that you're taking something from it. All the very best. Brief explanation. I'm Simon. I had a stage 4 cancer. Wasn't expected to survive. 6 months to live. I managed to beat it, but I couldn't bounce back. Needed to take a big walk to fix myself up, and realized I couldn't just fix myself up. I could improve myself, level up. And then I realized if I was going to do that, I should do it for a charity. And as soon as I started helping, that amplified my healing. So I'm doing it for myself and for a charity called the Kids Cancer Project. And that's where all the superhero stuff comes in. That's like superhero up for science. So I've got a big old flag that I carry around, and I'm walking from Brisbane to Melbourne in the hopes that it will attract people's interest and that they will see the worth of the charity and donate. It's all about the research into resolving pediatric cancers in our lifetime. 950 Aussie kids affected every year. Okay, thank you. Safe travels and look forward to our next cross and chats. Cheers, Sue. Have a wonderful day, Captain. Cheers, Tiffany. Yeah, you too. Everybody, please have a lovely, lovely afternoon, and I'll update you later from McLean. And then after that, Grafton and Coughs. Cheers.